Here. There was a doorway hidden within the portrait. I wonder what came of Arthur's search.
My older sister came here. Said she can't let any... Everyone falls into my room at least once.
I hope you've had more luck than I did tracking down my gobstones. I hope you've had more luck than I did tracking down my gobstones.
Hello, Zenobia. I found all your gobstones.
Really? I didn't think it was possible. However did you do it?
Common sense and basic magic.
Well, may I have my gobstones back?
Of course. They are yours after all.
Oh, how wonderful. I shall dedicate all of my future victories to you. Speaking of which, now that I have all my gobstones back, I wonder if anyone in the common room would be up for a game.
I'm sure they'd be willing to play after the trouble spent getting them back. It's a fine idea.
Isn't it? Oh, we'll have so much fun together, laughing as all the losers get sprayed, which won't include me. Very well, off I go. Wish me luck.
Made any progress with your treasure map?
Hello, Arthur. Thought you might like to know that my map led to a doorway hidden within a portrait.
Oh, how clever! Mine led to the barely found the treasure before I saw the headmaster coming. He shooed me out of there, but not before before I got a few galleons richer. What did you find?
I found what I believe is an authentic historian's uniform.
Oh, that's lucky. Seems as though we both had success. Glad I enlisted you to join me. Well, on to the next Hogwarts mystery. Wonder if a quick rummage round Weasley's office might yield anything interesting.
Revelio. 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 Accio. Revelio. These dry vines are one spark away from becoming kindling. Incendio! This must be the entrance to the hidden herbology corridor. Devil's Snare seems to thrive in darkness. Perhaps it doesn't care for light. Revelio. Lumos. Revelio. Accio. Lumos. Seems the Devil's Snare was protecting a chest of some kind. Lumos. I imagine a piece of that enormous venomous tentacular would be enough for Duncan to prove his bravery. Revelio.
Lumos.
Revelio. 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 Revelio.
Have you found anything to, prove my bravery yet?
Hello, Duncan. I have the proof you wanted.
That's one leaf. Must have been a giant venomous tentacula. It's even more than I expected. I knew you were the one to ask. I appreciate you getting it for me.
Of course. I hope this helps you prove yourself.
This is sure to put an end to Puffskein Dunkeen for good when I show everyone in the common room tonight. This'll show Everett how ridiculous that nickname was. Thank you again, and have a good day. I know I will. Thank you for all of your help. No more Puffskein Dunkeen for me.
Revelio. Revelio. Lumos. Revelio. Revelio.
You cannot be serious. Goblins, working with Rookwood? Makes no sense.
It is rather unorthodox, to say the least.
Unorthodox? It's inconceivable. It's... Ah, Fig. You have a visitor. I'll see what I can find out.
Sir, I was able to search the restricted section while you were with Professor Black. It was a book we were after.
What? That's... Wait. You accessed the restricted section? But how? Thinking on it, perhaps it's best you spare me the details.
Fair enough. In fact, the book was below the restricted section as it appeared on the map.
I want to hear everything. First, let's have a look. Oh dear. Some of these pages seem to be missing. It appears someone has got to the book before us. Still, I will need time to study what remains. Perhaps we can still salvage something useful, though it may take some time. I wonder why it was here, below Hogwarts.
I think I know, sir. I saw 2 more memories where I found the book.
Another pensive. Godric's heart.
The man we saw before, Percival Rackham, was a professor here. The first memory showed him and 3 other professors using ancient magic to restore a hamlet from a drought.
Miriam was right. And the second memory?
They were talking to a student who started as a 5th year, like I did. She could see traces of magic too.
Why those memories? Perhaps this book will explain. Now I'll have to take it with me to London. The headmaster has insisted that I speak directly to the minister about George's death.
I understand. I'll see what I can learn about the missing pages while you're gone.
Good. Don't neglect your studies. Your wand work is improving by the day. But you'll want to pay attention in herbology and potions. There's more to magic than spellcasting.
Plenty to keep me occupied while you're gone.
You've done exceptionally well. I look forward to seeing all that you've accomplished when I return. Oh, and don't neglect your friends. You may be surprised by them. from them as well.
It's time to prove your dueling mettle and see if we've a new school champion. Meet me at the usual place for the final round of crossed wands. Also, the training dummy is still available.
Meet me in Lower Hogsfield as soon as possible. I would like to talk to you about Rookwood and Harlow, and it might be best to do so outside of the castle.
Professor Fig and Weasley have asked that I teach you.
Revelio.
Please complete the assignments I have given you, and then proceed to see me in my classroom.
Good morning, Professor Garlick.
How wonderful it is to see you again, Lenora dear. Oh, here. You'll need these for today's class. A little treat for your auntie. Ah, hello. Class, please welcome the newest rose in our garden. We do look forward to growing together. How thrilling it is to have everyone back together again. This year will be filled with enchantment and excitement, but the most important thing cultivated in herbology is knowledge. The prudent herbologist is no more afraid of the venomous tentacular than the bouncing bulb. Now then, today we will be acquainting ourselves with the mellifluous tuber known as the mandrake root. Accio. Let's see if we can't make our fibrous friends a bit more comfortable, shall we? First, let's protect our ears. Now, everyone, grip their mandrake by the tendrils and give it a firm tug. The soil should envelop the root like a warm, dirty blanket, putting the mandrake right at ease. Reparo! I'm very sorry about that. Yours was a bit mature, I'm afraid. All right then, off you go. Splendid work, everyone. Now, for our next task, we'll be planting Dittany at our potting tables. You can all get started. I need to have a brief word with our new student.
The best time to plant a seed is last season. The second best time is now.
I wonder if hippogriffs like knotgrass.
Yes, Professor.
Firstly, well done with your mandrake. They can be rather difficult to get a grasp of.
I'll say, nearly went deaf.
Well, yes. Of course, the cry of a mature mandragora can be fatal, so remember to keep those ears protected. Now, as I mentioned, next we'll be planting Dittany. Let us find you some seeds.
I already have some, Professor. Picked them up in Hogsmeade.
You visited the Magic Neeb. Wonderful! A prepared student is bound to bloom. I've arranged for you to have your own potting table here in the classroom. Wasn't easy to spare one on such late notice. Plant the seeds there now, and you can return to harvest them later. Even with soil, sunlight, and a bit of magic, they will take time to grow.
Let's see how to balance my star thistle arrangement. Niffler's fancy or roses?
Dittany's restorative properties make it a vital ingredient in the Wiggenweld potion, as you all should know from Professor Sharp's class. Well done! Once it can be harvested, your Dittany will be ready to use in Wiggenweld potion. I'll let Professor Sharp tell you about that. Now, what say we branch out? Introduce you to a different sort of flora, the Chinese chomping cabbage. You'll find that some plants are better suited to uses outside of a cauldron. The cabbages do get testy without something to chew. Fortunately, I have a dummy for them to gnaw on. Be a dear and let them have a good chomping.
Yes, Professor.
They're in the other greenhouse. It's just at the end of the footbridge leading out of this room. Your classmate, Mr. Pruitt, has kindly offered to accompany you. Come back and see me when you're finished. Oh, and mind your fingers. They do bite.
Hello. Saw you on your way to Hogsmeade the other day. Nice to meet you. I'm Leander. I'll be showing you the Chinese chomping cabbages. Up these stairs will take us there, but your lead. Nice work in Defense Against the Dark Arts, by the way.
Excuse me?
Your duel with Sebastian! And he's good. Thinks he's really good. But you outright slaughtered him. It was brilliant.
Oh. Well, thank you.
I nearly put Sebastian in his place myself. I mean, I would have, if Hecate hadn't stopped me.
Didn't she stop that dragon skull from crushing you?
Typical Slytherin trick. Here we are. Home of the Chinese chomping cabbage. Go on. Now, see that dummy? Just toss the cabbages at it, and they'll do the rest. Look at that! They'll chomp on anything they can get their mouths on. Mum planted some in her garden last year to keep the gnomes out. Did save her the de-gnoming, but they left her honking daffodils in tatters. Vicious little bastards, aren't they? My kind of plants. Not like stupid booba tubers and bouncing bulbs. The kind of plants that just have your back in a fight. Not saying you can't go it alone, but... well, imagine that wasn't a dummy.
I suppose they could prove useful outside of the greenhouse. Nothing wrong with a bit of backup, even if it is from a cabbage.
It's chaos out there. Trolls in Hogsmeade and such. You can't be above throwing a cruciferous vegetable if necessary. Dogweed and deathcap has more of them, if you're keen. Other plants too. Ones your parents wouldn't plant in the garden. You get the idea. Anyway, we probably ought to head back to class. Take your time. I'll see you back in class.
Revelio. Revelio.
Off on another adventure, are we? And with that helpful reminder as to why we should always wear our dragon hide gloves, I shall end our lesson here. Terribly sorry, Mr. Clopton.
I tended to the Chinese chomping cabbages, Professor.
Remarkable plants, aren't they? I hope they weren't too much trouble. Oh, don't see any bite marks or missing digits. And good, as you do seem to be quite green-fingered. Oh, I'm eager to see your skill in the soil continue to blossom.
Magical plants have so much to offer. I'm eager to learn more.
I'm glad. Herbology is a bounteous subject. Tend to your garden, and it will tend to you. Huh. Well, I suppose that's everything. Do come by for a chat sometime. I so enjoy checking in with my new students.
Hope those mandrakes are really relishing their new pots. Only cost me my damned hearing.
Revelio. This could prove dangerous if I'm not careful. Revelio.
It is good to see you, my friend.
I never thought Ramrock's loyalists would go this far.
Hello, sir. What do you sell here?
Hello, I'm Jalal Semi, and this is my potion shop. I can answer any questions you have about the town.
Any whispers going about the town?
There's a thief on the loose by the name of Katrin Haggerty. She's an ashwinder. She's stealing everything that's not nailed down, and people have had enough. Katrin's hiding in a camp just southwest of town.
What do you have for sale?
What can I help you with today? I'll have no trouble selling this. Thank you. I hope to see you again sometime.
I wonder what Merlin would think. I never thought Ramrock's loyalists would go this far.
It is good to see you, my friend.
How nice to see you, my young friend.
Hello, Natty. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. I was there, and I saw what happened with Rookwood and Harlow at the Three Broomsticks. I have been worried about you.
I'm all right at the moment.
If you don't mind my asking, why were they looking for you?
I've never met Rookwood or Harlow. Perhaps they mistook me for another student.
A bit odd. The two of them pursuing a Hogwarts student so intently. But whatever the reason, you were clearly in danger. For now, it is safe to say that Rookwood and Harlow are a threat to both of us, to all of us. Which is why I wanted to speak to you. Everyone has been talking about you defending Hogsmeade from that troll attack. And I shall never forget watching Serona stand up to Rookwood and Harlow in the Three Broomsticks. Both of you have inspired me to take a stand of my own.
What sort of stand?
Men like Rookwood and Harlow are the reason my mother and I left Matibili land. I am not going to sit by and watch them destroy my new home.
Rookwood and Harlow are a dangerous pair on their own, and you should know that Rookwood is in league with Ranrock.
I had heard they were seen in Hogsmeade together. All the more reason they must be stopped. Rumor has it that Theophilus Harlow runs Rookwood's day-to-day operations. Taking him down would cripple Rookwood's entire enterprise.
That may be true, but shouldn't Officer Singer handle someone like Harlow?
I spoke with her. She was polite, but perhaps understandably would not discuss details with a student. I overheard some of Rookwood's lot talking about a massive poaching operation that Harlow is planning. I was thinking that we could investigate a bit, try to get the evidence that Officer Singer needs.
All right, but how?
I am going to watch and listen, find out precisely what Harlow is up to. I shall reach out when I know more. In the meantime, remember, I am here if you need me.
Thank you, Natty.
Be on your guard.
I beg your pardon! How dare you threaten me?
What's going on here?
An unearned reputation.
Alto was a kind's best friend. Always have been.
Muggles have made life hard for us since the dawn of time.
The tales of Beetle the Bard still ring true today.
Anyone casting unforgivable curses should be tossed into Azkaban, and I dare anyone to argue it.
I never thought Ramrock's loyalists would go this far.
Pardon me, is everything all right?
Hardly. I've just lost my business and almost my life. You'd best look elsewhere for wares. I've nothing to sell now. I never thought it'd come to this. Be on your guard. Ranrock and his loyalists will spare no one.
They attacked you?
Oh, Ranrock has no patience for goblins who won't join him. While I too would like to see goblin kind treated by wizards as equals, bloodshed is not the answer. When I said as much, they turned on me, struck me till I nearly passed out. Took my carts, my belongings, even that which is most precious to me, my paintings.
I'm sorry this happened to you. I shall certainly keep an eye out for your carts.
That is very kind of you, but I think they took them to their camp southwest of here, just past some ruins. Too dangerous to try and retrieve them. I did enchant the carts to return to me if I ever lost them, however. Slim though the chances may be, I'm holding out hope that some of what was taken is returned to me. It was nice meeting you. I wish it had been under better circumstances.
After what Ranrock did to that goblin banker at Gringotts, I shouldn't be surprised at what happened to Arn.
They must have come this way. Think!
I've no idea who it is you think I might have seen. I've been busy with my research. I do not have time to...
Victor Rookwood don't give a doxy's nip back your time. Oi! Speak of the devil. Mr. Rookwood would like a word with you.
A student? You can't be
Enough out of you.
Leave her alone.
Stupefy!
So, the hunt begins. I quit now, while you're still alive. Damn it! I've no patience for these things. Plants in a jewel? Pathetic.
I'll watch the light go out of your eyes. Stop right there! All right. We can hold them.
I'm not going anywhere.
Hang on! You'll take it!
You're easier to spot than an eruption. Knew you were still hanging about. Aha! How embarrassing! Not today!
Child!
Tell Rookwood to find me himself.
Oh. Release me! You little brat!
Not so tough now, are ya?
I hate heights. I've had enough of this. No!
You dog!
Revelio.
What on earth just happened? I've never been accosted in such a manner. And so close to Hogwarts.
Are you all right?
I am, thanks in no small part to your excellent defensive skills. Care to tell me why 2 Ashwinders were ready to dispatch me to get to you?
Ashwinders?
Victor Rookwood's thieves and extortionists, his little cronies. They seemed quite keen on you.
It's a long story, but thank you for your help.
Well, you've avoided them for the moment. Priya warned me things were getting dangerous. Best get moving on my research before they return.
You're a researcher?
Nora Treadwell at your service. Historian and archaeologist specializing in Merlin's work and life.
Merlin? Of the legend of King Arthur?
The very same. Merlin attended Hogwarts, you know, and I'm studying some curious fixtures he left here centuries ago.
Fixtures?
These vine-covered pillars, dozens of them, all around the area. I've taken to calling them the Trials of Merlin. I believe he created them as a diversion for his fellow Slytherins. He was terribly fond of puzzles and enigmas.
I can see why you're so interested in Merlin. I'd be keen to know more about the trials.
Well then, I'll let you in on a little secret. No one has yet managed to figure out how they work. But I believe I have just unlocked a crucial clue. I suspect that Mallowsweet is an important component in getting the trials to work.
Mallowsweet?
Versatile herb. Merlin repeatedly mentioned it in his writings. I had just arrived to test my theory when I was so rudely interrupted. You see, each swirl in Merlin's writing has a symbol in the center. That started me thinking, what if...
The Mallowsweet is meant to be placed at the center of the symbols.
Precisely. Would you care to do the honors? We can see what comes of our little hypothesis. I brought a trunk chock full of Mallowsweet with me. It's just over there by my tent.
This trunk?
Yes, take plenty, even if you already have some.
I have the Mallowsweet.
Lovely. Now, notice the vines on these pillars here, as well as a stone swell on the ground. Each trial has these features. Place the Mallowsweet on the swell, and we'll see what happens. My word! Did you see that? The vines disappeared!
What should I do now?
This is uncharted territory. I am curious about these pyres.
Incendio!
Merlin's beard!
The flames make the fire sink.
Merlin's beard! How beautiful! What a day! I can hardly believe it.
I take it we can call that a success?
We can indeed. However, I now have even more questions. How does it work? I must review my notes. I may have missed something.
Are all of the trials like this one?
Oh, not precisely. Well, I think each has those telltale vines and the swirl on the ground. You should feel free to solve them as you come across them. I believe I have what I need to continue my research. My guess is that each will also require Mallowsweet, which you can find in Hogsmeade should you need more. I really must be off. Such a pleasure to meet you. And do be careful out here. Now, I've got what I needed. I shall return to the safety of my notes and books.
Revelio.
Might I beseech you for some assistance?
Hello. Can I help you?
Oh, thank goodness. Yes. My name is Grace Pinch Smedley. Of the Bath Pinch Smedleys? I was hoping someone would come along soon. I was about to defy my father's wishes and would never have forgiven myself. You see, I need to retrieve something from the bottom of the lake. Might you be the one to help me?
Diving into the lake sounds like an adventure. Tell me more.
Splendid! Precisely the response I'd hoped for.
What do you need help retrieving?
Years ago, my grandfather, who fancied himself quite the astronomer, set sail from Hogsmeade Station for what was meant to be a quick stargazing cruise with my grandmother. They never returned.
I'm so sorry. What happened to them?
We can't be sure. We only know that neither they nor their boat made it back to shore. They were presumed drowned. Father was so distraught that he forbade our family from setting foot on or in the Black Lake ever again. A treasured family astrolabe vanished with them that night. If you could dive down and retrieve it, I may be able to bring my father some peace.
It sounds dangerous, especially for something of mere sentimental value.
I understand. But I'd be forever grateful. Of course, you may discover much more than the astrolabe. Anything else you found would be all yours. I've cross-referenced the vessel's last alleged location against the lake's topography, depth charts, and tide schedule. My best guess is that it's just over there, about a furlong from the dock. It would be wonderful to have my grandfather's astrolabe back. I do hope you find the astrolabe. It would mean much to our family.
It sounds as if her astrolabe is just northeast of the dock. I should dive down and see. This must be where the Pinch Smedley family astrolabe is. I should let Grace know that I found her family astrolabe. Revelio.
You didn't find the dive too terribly difficult.
Hello, Grace. I followed your bearings on a dive in the Black Lake.
Oh, how incredible! Did you find the astrolabe?
I did. I hope it makes your father happy.
It will. I can't wait to see his face. Thank you so much for doing this for me, and for my family. You do well to keep an eye out for more spots to dive. A diver of your caliber is certain to find all sorts of things down there. Thank you again. And I do hope you keep diving. You certainly have a knack for finding treasure.
Revelio.
Said that travel broadens the mind.
I hope you were able to take care of everything I had asked you to do.
Professor, I completed all of your most recent assignments.
Well done. Then you're ready to learn Expelliarmus. Pay close attention. The disarming charm may often be all you need to defeat the most powerful dark witches and wizards you might encounter. Spellcasting requires a focused mind and a steady wand. Good work. The dummy is here if you wish to stay and practice.
Accio. Expelliarmus.
You seem to have questions, but keep
Leviosa.
Expelliarmus may save your life.
Incendio. Accio. Expelliarmus.
Still at it.
Leviosa. Incendio. Accio. Expelliarmus.
What are you up to now?
Revelio.
No.
Maybe all of them. Someone from the ministry guarding the school.
Professor Black would never allow that. It would make him look completely incompetent, which he is.
Revelio.
Potions is one of the most challenging and hazardous subjects taught at this school. As fifth years, you will be required to reach new heights of both discipline and intellect. You will begin this term by brewing a Wigan-Weld potion. Mr. Takar, can you tell us why this particular potion might come in handy?
Yes, Professor Sharp. The Wigan-Weld potion can be used to sterilize and even heal a variety of injuries.
It can heal some injuries, but not all. Point for Ravenclaw. Before today's class is completed, each of you will have brewed a Wigan-Weld potion of your own. You never know when you might need it. Please begin. Use a strong, even motion when crushing your ingredients. Please be meticulous when adding powder to your potions. One errant sneeze could be disastrous. I see most of you have not forgotten how to stir. Not an easy potion to brew. Well done. And from what I hear of your recent exploits in Hogsmeade, you'd also do well to practice brewing the defensive Edurus potion. Professor Weasley had you acquire the recipe from J. Pippins, correct?
Yes, sir.
Good. For the moment, you can find the ingredients you need in my office. But in the future, you'll be expected to provide your own ingredients. Some can be harvested from the plants you grow in your herbology class, and rarer ones can be purchased. Others, however, may be harder to obtain, and will require you to be a bit more resourceful. Come and see me when you've finished brewing, and we'll see if it was skill or luck the first time around.
My Wigan-Weld potion's utter rubbish. Wish I could just replace it with one from J. Pippins.
My parents considered keeping me home from school this year after the rumors of a goblin rebellion.
Fine job brewing your first Wigan-Weld potion. But there are many potions yet to learn.
This is going to be a busy year.
Professor Sharp must have learned a lot during his time as an Auror. I wish he talked about it more.
Did I hear Professor Sharp say that you have permission to go into his office?
He did say that. He wants me to get more ingredients to brew another potion.
Brilliant! You, my friend, have been presented with an extraordinary opportunity. I'm Gareth, by the way. Gareth Weasley. Bit of a prodigy with potions, if I do say so myself.
Pleasure to meet you. Wait, are you related to Professor Weasley?
She's my aunt. Keeps too close an eye on me for comfort. Ugh. But she can't be everywhere. Listen, anyone with a troll-sized brain can brew an Edurus potion. I'm working on something that's certain to be spectacular. I'm just missing one tiny last ingredient that will add that extra spark.
I suspect that's where I come in.
You're as clever as I'd hoped. I simply need a single Fwooper feather. As you'll already be in Sharp's office with his permission, perhaps you could grab it for me.
I'll get you the Fwooper feather, as long as you're certain Sharp won't miss it.
I assure you he won't. Fwooper feathers aren't that valuable. Wait until you see what I'm brewing. Hurry back to me when you have the feather.
Keep your Revelio. Revelio.
Could not be that color, Miss McDowell. Should you chop the Diddney? The wrong answer could result in the unfortunate loss of your eyebrows.
I was impressed that you were able to answer Professor Sharp's question about the Wiggenweld potion.
Oh, you're the new student. I've heard much about you. Thank you. I'm Amit, by the way. Pleasure, truly. And I've never seen anyone brew such a flawless Wiggenweld potion on their first try. Well done.
Professor Sharp didn't seem as impressed as you are.
Don't take it personally. Professor Sharp wouldn't be impressed by a troll reciting the tales of Beetle the Bard backwards. And in gobbledygook. A fascinating language, by the way. Neither here nor there, really, but I am a self-taught speaker. Merlin's beard, good conversation is the enemy of free time. I must return my book, Gateway to the Far Stars, before my next class. Speaking of stars, we'll be in astronomy together. You'll love it. Professor Shaw is firm, but quite clever. See you soon, no doubt.
Here's the Fwooper feather you wanted.
Brilliant! Thank you. This is going to take a moment to brew. You should get back to brewing your Edurus potion, and I'll tell you when this concoction's finished.
Proficiency in potions are two things that cannot be rushed. Have patience and be thorough.
And now we add the Mallow Suite, and... That's odd. What's happening? Wait, it's not supposed to... Ah! Dragon Tongue! What happened?
Well done, Gareth.
What now, Mr. Weasley?
Sorry, Professor.
That'll be points from Gryffindor. Again. Mr. Weasley did not do this on his own. His accomplice will answer to me as well.
Professor Sharp said that Wiggenweld potion can treat injuries. Hope I never need it.
I brewed an Adurus potion as you asked, Professor.
I'm surprised you had the time. You seemed rather busy helping Mr. Weasley brew chaos.
I'm sorry, Professor. I was merely trying to help a friend.
Taking responsibility for one's actions does go a long way with me. I shall assume that you've learnt a lesson. As for the work you did today at your own cauldron, I will say you've done well. I confess I was skeptical, given the advanced nature of this class and the fact you're a new student.
I'm glad I was able to meet your expectations.
A rare occurrence. And you do well to remember that you're not a potions master quite yet. In addition to having a solid grasp of how to combine various ingredients, you should gain an understanding of the ingredients themselves. Pay particular attention in herbology. The plants you nurture there are often essential to the potions you brew here. Now, I recommend that you find a safe location in which to practice brewing. You cannot leave a hot cauldron simply anywhere. That'll be all.
Constitutional requirement that the new officer positions be established.
I think each of us has had enough excitement for one day. Class is dismissed.
Now, the legislature creates the offices. The powers relative to the offices are partly.
Don't fret if you run out of ingredients. I simply grow most of what I need.
The office defines the powers, limits its duration, provides it with compensation, and then the power to.
That was an interesting class.
Thanks to you. Wasn't precisely what I had in mind, but it was still brilliant. I appreciate your help. I hope Sharp wasn't too disagreeable when you handed in your potion. Heard him talking about taking responsibility.
To establish and organize the executive branch.
Professor Sharp was annoyed, but we sorted it out. No harm.
Cheers to that. He probably had a good chuckle after we left. Sharp may seem gruff, but I'd bet a few galleons he blew up a potion or two in his day. Best be off. Next time we talk, I promise, fewer explosions.
Greetings, young Slytherin. Scrope knows about the old book you found for Professor Fig. Scrope can help you. And you can help Scrope get to the courtyard past the pendulum. If you don't know it, you'll see it easy enough. And don't tell anyone what you're up to. Especially Professor Blank.
And there is the Slytherin Special Quest.
And the Assistant Attorneys General. All of that is clear in the U.S. Code. But for some agencies, Congress has also granted the agency head the power to appoint officers themselves. And they were clear about this. Congress can create it, or Congress can create
Not gonna do that one yet.
but they gave that power in the law. So the Department of Ag has it, the Department of Education has it, the Department of Health and Human Services
This one's
has it. You know who does not have it? The DOJ. In the past, Congress has at times created expressly offices similar to the position that's similar to the special counsel. They created an office for special counsel. That was some time ago. They investigated the Teapot Dome scandal, other prosecutions, and the statute for that created an independent counsel. But that statute lapsed. Congress hasn't reauthorized it, so there is no law there. And so we cannot ignore the importance that the Constitution places on who general office be established by law. James Madison's talking about this. Said if there is any point in which the separation of the legislative and the executive powers ought to be
Revelio.
Caution, it is that which relates to officers and offices. If Congress has not reached a consensus that a particular office should exist, the executive branch doesn't have the power to create.
Hello, Lucan. I'd like to practice with the training dummy.
Excellent idea. This time will be a bit more of a challenge. Ready?
Of course I'm ready.
That'd be brilliant.
Wonderful. I'll set things up. Remember to cast all the spell combinations before the dummy lands again. If you need to stop practicing before you finish all of them, let me know.
Instead, the Attorney General cobbled together a bunch of Garfic statutes, and he cited 509,
Accio. Incendio.
But none of the statutes cited by Merrick Garland, none of them creates the office of the special counsel, and none of them creates anything with clarity like other past statutes. Sections 509 and 510 are generic provisions about
Accio. Incendio.
Under the law, saying
Good one.
the office already had to be created. 533 talks about appointing officials.
Accio. Incendio. Leviosa. Accio. Incendio.
Nicely done.
Very nice.
Impressive wand work. I'd hate to face you in a duel.
Thanks, Lucan. You've been a great help.
Oh, stop. Don't make me blush. Seriously, well done. Training dummies will think twice before challenging you again. Plus, you'll be even more formidable in crossed wands. Other duelists had better beware.
Office is valid. They say to be sure, Judge Clarence Thomas, new presidents have appointed special prosecutors, and they do that without appointing to any express statutory office.
Hello, Lucan. Is the final round of cross wands ready?
Big match today.
Big match.
It all comes down to this. The moment that we find out if your training and dedication is enough to win it all. Ready for a shot at glory?
I certainly am.
Brilliant. Are you dealing with a partner?
Yes, Sebastian.
Then let's get started.
So it's very explicit about that power, and he doesn't have it.
We can make this a real victory.
Regulations also remain
That's the spirit.
Outside special counsel, but I doubt that regulation can create a federal office without the statutory authority to do so. So clearly, has a valid office.
Act like a winner.
Stupid one.
There goes my way.
Ah.
Accio. Expelliarmus. Is that all you've got? Stupid one. Expelliarmus. You're better than that. Come on, bring Expelliarmus. Superfly. Superfly.
Don't shy away now.
Superfly. Superfly. Leviosa. Accio. Superfly. Superfly. Accio. Incendio. Leviosa. Expelliarmus.
Took longer than I wanted.
But as the court explains, the president's
What a victory! You've won the tournament!
always has been the law. No one's actually prosecuted.
I'm just pleased to have done as well as I did.
And we're pleased to have such a gracious champion. Now, to the victor goes the prize! And so it is my great honour to present you with this simple yet elegant token of supreme dueling accomplishment.
The Constitution also secures liberty by separating powers to create
Thank you.
offices.
It's been an honour.
You earned it. You are a duelist to be reckoned with. Now that we've definitively crowned the tournament winner, I suppose I should get back to my schoolwork. Wonder how my herbology plants are doing. I haven't tended them in ages.
Respect the Constitution's separation of powers in all its forms, else you risk rendering its protection of liberty a parchment meaningless. Signed by Judge Clarence Thomas, making the right point that Jack Smith is illegally appointed, not constitutionally in his position at all. But the Democrats, through Merrick Garland and Joe Biden, continue to say he's legitimate, and the media accepts it, so the prosecution carries on. Now, this will go over to Judge Cannon in Florida, and we'll see what she thinks about this as she renders her decision on this issue and many others. But the point is, the immunity decision touches all of the cases, and this is even MSNBC acknowledging the fact that the J6 is not going to happen before the election, and Trump might put the whole thing to bed in the aftermath. Here is MSNBC reporting.
It seems, correct me if I'm wrong, there's no chance that any of these are taken up or go to trial anyway before Election Day.
Absolutely not. And Willie, one of the reasons that it doesn't is because it will take 32 days just before Judge Chutkan even gets the case back. That's because under Supreme Court rules, they have 32 days to issue the judgment back to the lower court unless somebody asks for it. The other thing is Judge Chutkan has to resolve what is in and out of the case before anything can proceed further, and what's in and out of the case has to go through the appeals process again before those pretrial proceedings can continue, because immunity isn't just immunity from liability, it's immunity from the whole thing, right? If you're immune from prosecution, you shouldn't have to go through the process to begin with. So I think there is no chance we see any trial before the
This will
election.
work.
And the case is going to disappear if Donald Trump is reelected. He will direct the Department of Justice to dismiss the case. He will get rid of the special counsel somehow. We should suffer no illusions that this case continues
Not gonna like
through
this
the courts
one.
if Donald Trump is reelected.
Yeah, because Jack Smith is unlawfully appointed.
Yeah,
We've got
I know.
Clarence Thomas, who's there, also confirming that for us. And so we will keep our eye on what's happening over there. But Trump's attorney also came out and was saying they're going to use this immunity provision as it's intended. It's a broad provision that is going to protect Trump with a strong force field as it's protected other presidents. No other president has had to suffer through this political lawfare because we're going through a new era where communists have taken over and we're trying to ransack our own judiciary
that's
and our own
always-
justice system. But this victory continues. Trump's attorney saying, we're going to take this and apply it to every case. Alternate electors, Fannie Willis, all of them are now fair game.
Another adventure, are we?
On this question of what's official and what's not official, that Trump must stand trial. I mean, do you acknowledge that there is still a chance he does have a trial here for the January 6th election interference case?
Well, first of all, I don't know that Justice Barrett's opinion is a concurrence and it's not controlling. I think the majority opinion authored by
Hello,
Chief
Mr.
Justice
Semi.
Roberts
What can I do for you?
sets out the path ahead. This case is going to be
What do you have
remanded
for
back to
sale?
the district court. The district court is going to have to determine
What can I
which
help
of
you
the
with
acts
today?
underlying the indictment are immune and which are not immune, and then we'll proceed from there. Obviously, any immunity decision made by the district court, we would have the ability to appeal on an interlocutory basis again up to the D.C. Circuit, potentially to the Supreme Court as well. In terms of your core question about the trial timeline, I think at the very least we're looking at a long road ahead before this case could go to trial, which I think is appropriate given the very serious constitutional issues that this first ever prosecution
Hope to see you again sometime.
presents here.
You have conceded
After what Ranrock did to that goblin banker at Gringotts, I shouldn't be surprised at what happened to Arn.
would be considered a private act. So that would mean that at least part of this case from Jack Smith would go to court based on what you have said before, right?
We've admitted consistently that there are acts alleged in the indictment that would constitute private conduct, but we believe that if the official conduct, the immune acts in the indictment are stripped away, that Jack Smith doesn't have a case, that this case should be dismissed on that basis. I don't think there's sufficient private conduct here to support the
Revelio.
indictment, to support the ongoing prosecution, and that's what we're going to be litigating in front of the district court.
Nice.
Well, we would say all alternate slates of electors. As we argued before the Supreme Court, alternate slates of electors have been a method used by previous presidents, most notably Ulysses S. Grant, to ensure the integrity of prior elections. So we believe the assembly of those alternate slates of electors was an official act of the presidency. That's what we argued before the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has reserved that issue for determination by the district court. And we'll see that how arguments
Revelio. Protego. Stupid.
I would disagree with that paper in the print. Thank you.
That does not surprise me at all. Thank you very much, Will.
Well done, Will. I'm glad you got that.
Revelio.
Trying to cut him on. You're just a big liar. No, you're wrong.
There you are.
Stupid.
Try to weaponize our justice system.
Incentive.
Entire situation, saying
Revelio.
Applies, and not only that, but Jack Smith is illegitimate. Clarence Thomas confirming that from his perspective,
Hey, where's the
he does
fangs?
not have any authority to do anything that he's
Oh,
done.
that's
So
sad.
that's a nice hint over to Judge Eileen Cannon in Florida. We'll see if Trump maybe removes this in some of the other courtrooms, and at minimum, when Trump wins the Oval Office, it will be a nice justification legally to say, we got no more money. Where's your money coming from? No more
Pass the roads. I'm on the right track.
uphold the law.
Accio. Revelio.
Is going to be about Florida because Trump submitted a reply as he continues to get the motion.
Still no fangs.
Judge Cannon's courtroom based on the spoliation.
When do I start gaining fangs from these dead spiders?
Coming up next, we'll see you over there and back here on the next one.
Hi, everybody. I'm Brittany Lucas.
An encampment. This must be it.
Congressman, thank you for joining me once again.
Thanks for having me on again. It's been great.
I want to discuss the moment that we're in right now. The House voted earlier this month to put Attorney General Merrick Garland in contempt of Congress after he did not release the audio of President Biden's interview with Special Counsel Robert Hur. The Justice Department decided against prosecuting him, and earlier this week,
Revelio.
announced she will
Looks as if there's more than one way to enter.
the AG in her contempt if he does not turn over the tapes. So what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I've signed on to that measure. I think it's an excellent idea because they are not following the rules. Yeah, this is put into place to do just this, to call these people in. And they're not going to be brought in chains and all this talk that's hyperbole that's going on. Last time they were down, they put them up in a nice motel. I almost wish they put me up in a nice motel. I'm tired of sleeping on my couch in my office at night. But the reality is they are not doing what the law is prescribed. They have taken this
Where's the
tape
entrance?
and they're hiding it for obvious reasons. They let loose the written version of it, but now we're told that it is not accurate. We think that there's probably
rather unwise coming back this way. Ah.
In an election year, that we would hold some of these people and we would hold them accountable. If you can imagine somebody we're told by a lawyer that cannot stand, is not fit to stand trial, is not physically or mentally able to stand trial, is the person that carries the nuclear weapon, that has our nuclear codes. That, to me, is very chilling, and I think that is evident of the deep state type of situation that we have going on right now, of keeping this from the American people. And Representative Luna and I talk about this every day. We talked about it this morning, and just how important this is to this country.
I talked about this with Representative Luna just a few weeks ago, but I am curious, who told you that the
Renrock's vision of goblins ruling over wizards will be fulfilled.
Well, I've heard from multiple sources, like you. I'm not going to reveal my sources, but I have heard that. And because of whatever reason would they not want this out, other than that? I don't trust these people. They have not been forthcoming with the truth since day one. So, again, I have my sources, and generally
Could be
these
used
people
for
are very
better
reliable,
things than this
and I
so-called
believe-
patrol.
And also, I believe what's going to happen too. A lot of it has to do with how well he performs on the debate tonight. If he is uncontrollable, if it just goes completely off the charts, I believe you'll see everybody jump ship on Joe Biden, and we'll be looking for a new nominee. I think it all just kind of fits in.
Why am I always on
You know,
patrol?
it's not
It's a waste of my skills.
At Beard Junior High School, about what really goes on in this town. It's corrupt, it's compromised, and it's just...
Come on, man.
It's a contact school.
I do want to discuss
There you
what
go.
exactly
Get out of
our
here.
intent is. Essentially, the opportunity and the authority to arrest Mark Garland.
Revelio.
What we arrested him accomplish, would that lead to you guys definitely getting the audio?
It might not. I suspect that they will do everything within their power, within their power, from seeing it. I doubt but I think it's important that we hold the vote to show the American people who actually believes in the Constitution, who believes in the rule of law, and who believes that there's not two systems of justice, for goodness sakes. This cannot continue to go on with the Biden family getting their way and the rest of us we don't have justice. I find this very offensive.
Ooh, very nice. Very nice.
And here we are.
That was quite something.
Literally thumbing
Now, to free Arn's cards.
And the Constitution and the rule of law. Congress has to get some guts. I like tough votes because I want people back home to know how to vote.
Wait, there should be
Many of
more.
my colleagues go home to their Reagan Day and Lincoln Day dinners and they throw out the red meat.
Oh,
Talk about how
here's a
tough they
pleasant
are,
surprise.
And then they come up here and sell their country
guess not.
down the road time and time again. And they just won't do it. And so I think it's time for some accountability. And it's going to cause some uncomfortable times up here.
Quite an enchantment. The cards are returning to Arn.
What have those conversations looked like in other Republicans?
Revelio.
Because the Kentucky Congress vote passed very narrowly. So are the conversations holding in current contempt? Are they uncomfortable? What do they look like when you take it to them?
Yes, ma'am, they're not uncomfortable for me, but I've been good work. Chairman Jordan and Chairman Comer agree with this. Everything is going on this approach. So I would like to see a vote. I'm not uncomfortable. The ones that are uncomfortable with it are ones that don't want to have to justify their vote back home, and it is primary and it is election season. So they are very uncomfortable with it. And that's just the way they do. That's human nature. But we're elected to serve the country.
Revelio.
Our people. And currently a lot of people on both sides of the aisle are not doing that, in my opinion.
Is Speaker Johnson comfortable with this move? Because Axios is reporting that the inherent contempt is being met with, quote, strong resistance within the GOP.
Yeah, I think it's within the moderate wing, but again, I would think that Speaker Johnson is a constitutional lawyer. He understands the Constitution. He understands where we're at. I don't feel like he is compromised. I feel like he's got some guts and some principles about it. I don't agree on everything, but he's a 1 or 2 person majority most of the time. So I feel like under this circumstances, the American public is highly alert to this. The media is alert.
Revelio.
Our base is alert to this, and the left is alert to this. So I would feel like this would be one of those votes.
So you're confident that this is going to pass?
No, ma'am, I'm not confident it's going to pass. I'm confident we'll get a vote. And then I'm confident that we probably will never see these tapes.
I want to, some critics have said that this is either performative or political.
Right.
White
Well, they got it.
Counsel said this when the contempt of Congress move was made. Quote, the absence of a legitimate news for the audio recordings lays bare your likely goal. To chop them up, distort them, and use them for partisan political purposes. What's your response to that type of criticism?
I believe that transparency is the answer to government, honesty in government. They're just trying to hide something. It needs to be. It's owned by the public. That government, we ought to see it. That is the most ridiculous argument I think I've ever heard. I've heard it from these so-called legal scholars on the left. Look, if they got something to hide, then that's too bad.
Incendio. Accio.
Deal with the consequences. If it's suffer, you suffer. But again, the public owns those tapes. The public owns those tapes. We need to see what's on.
What's that?
Well, debating my opinion, or if you bring your side, I bring my side, and we both bring theirs. That's exactly, nothing ever occurs out of these things. In Tennessee, one time they had two brothers running for governor, and they literally traveled the country on a wagon, and they throw a stone out and stand on it and argue out in the hot summer sun. And people were allowed to ask questions. This is not a debate. This is a dog and pony show by CNN, a bunch that has corrupted this system by allowing Hillary Clinton, the last time, if you remember, documented that she was given debate questions prior to it. So there's no real credibility in any of these things. If it was done by the right, the left would rightfully question it. There's no impartial commission on this thing. And the rules and regulations are so bogus. I suspect what will happen is if Joe Biden goes an hour and a half without complete failure, the Democrats will say, oh, he's energized, he's more motivated than he's ever been, and they'll try to pull everything Donald Trump says out of context.
We had hundreds of people join the USCCA yesterday. So I'm here in our fulfillment center trying to help pack up.
If you're here for my wares, I'm afraid.
On, I have good news. Your carts are on their way back.
I don't know what to say. Any hope I have of getting my belongings back was quickly fading. Ramrock's lot called me a fool for believing in the good and wizard kind. Thank you for proving them wrong.
There was no trouble this time.
I managed to free your carts fairly easily.
Oh, I'm glad you're all right. Oh, I can't wait to have my things back, especially my paints. You know, you've inspired me. I've been dealing with witches and wizards for years, and we've always got along just fine. Perhaps my next piece will be a tribute to all that is good between us.
What a nice idea, Ron. I wish you luck with it.
Oh, I can't wait to get started. Thank you again for all you've done.
What's going to happen next? And what's going to happen next is going to change, of course, American history.
All the best to you. Once my carts arrive, I'd be happy to show you my wares.
Ooh, almost got it.
As soon as this weekend. The
Damn, they're all 15 already.
not because, well, we want that result. In fact, I want Joe Biden to continue on and slump through November and get his ass handed to him in a 40-state Trump landslide. But you know, get what you want.
Revelio.
We are picking up these signals and the patterns, and it is our obligation to report back to you that maybe as early as this weekend in a pre-scheduled interview, George Stephanopoulos, Joe Biden may well resign the presidency. Now, why do we think that?
This looks
and
intriguing.
What is the data backing all of that up? Because again, we don't actually want that result. We think it'd be best for Joe Biden to continue. But here we are. This is the president's daily schedule today. Okay, you see, this is
Revelio.
It was just released a few minutes ago. This is a very curious thing that happens because Joe Biden doesn't wake up until around 11 o'clock in the morning, doesn't even start attending meetings until 11:30. The president's daily briefing here, which is a classified briefing, will be attended by the vice president. Well, I haven't seen that in forever. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris hate each other. Why would the vice president be attending the president's classified daily briefing, and then they're having lunch together? That's a pretty peculiar sign. That's a strange signal that something is up. And then, why would the president, Joe Biden, be meeting privately, again, closed press, with Democrat governors in the White House? There's a report that Gavin Newsom is already in Washington, D.C., and and Gavin Newsom is going to personally be there at the White House for this governor's only meeting, Democrat governor's only meeting. Well, this is a little scary. If you look at Joe Biden's schedule, it's strange, and it gets even scarier if you are Joe Biden. This is a report that was published earlier this month, before the presidential debate, before this entire news cycle, saying that if Joe Biden is to be removed, you have to watch what Pelosi and Obama are doing. Pelosi and Obama are the only true power brokers in the Democratic Party, and so we have been watching them like hawks, especially after Joe Biden's abysmal debate performance. And then, like a fire in the garage, like right on time, like a Swiss train, Nancy Pelosi comes pulling into the station yesterday, looking like a transitioning Michael Jackson on national TV, saying, hey, maybe Joe Biden has a condition. Reading effectively Joe Biden's political obituary live on
You have all these things that he was masterful in helping to orchestrate, to write, and to pass. So he has a vision, he has knowledge, he has judgment.
I know what that means. Merlin trial.
Revelio. Now, again, I think it's a legitimate question to say, is this an episode or is this...
Now, this is not what you say about somebody who you wish to be the commander-in-chief. This is not something that you say, even if you are sitting here live-action role-playing Michael Jackson on TV, about anybody that you want to be in charge of the country having the most difficult job in the world, which I think we can all agree is the President of the United States. You don't say, do they have an episode or a condition? You don't talk about people like that. If you have conditions and episodes, go to mental institutions and nursing homes. They get help. They seek help. Nancy Pelosi sick. Dang it.
It's not gonna help. Move. Come on, move. Come on.
Unbelievable savings all month long.
And that's at every Xera dealership.
Levioso. Accio.
Is an all-in-one permanent exterior lighting system.
Not gonna move.
An app on your phone, you're able to get all holidays like Christmas,
Alright, let's go to wait.
Halloween, Easter, and 4th of July, as well as set nightly programs to turn on and off from sunset to sunrise, or customize static times. The color of your jellyfish lighting system is matched to the color of the home, so it is discreet from the street.
For the last 9 years, I've been scaling this roof, putting up Christmas lights, risking my life, and ever since we saw jellyfish lighting, this has been the answer to a lot of our challenges. My wife loves the holidays. She loves the ability to customize the lights, and for me, I no longer have to worry about getting up and down off the roof. So we really enjoy the installation process, and we look forward every holiday now to having a festive house and being able to really have joy in watching the lights.
On top of holiday decorations, our lighting system also allows you to support
and nursing homes. They get help. They seek help.
Alrighty.
Nancy Pelosi saying that is a signal.
Let's start with...
Tucker Carlson, starting the week off, said that Obama's lying. Obama sent out a tweet supporting Joe Biden, but that private Barack Obama wants to throw Joe Biden into the trash compactor. And then, lo and behold, what happened yesterday? Barack Obama voices concerns after Shaky Bait offers Biden advice. Oh, I wonder what advice Barack Obama is offering. Former president told allies that Biden's already tough path to re-election grew more challenging after the debate performance. Now, that's backed up by data. So Barack Obama now leaking to the press and This is following a pattern and a series of leaks that are damaging only
Don't know about this.
Now,
Scrope?
the
Who
person
is Scrope?
in charge of Joe Biden's path to renomination, the man who effectively got Joe Biden the nomination in
Revelio.
2020 by rigging his home state of South Carolina in favor of Joe Biden, James Clyburn is he is the old man of the House, and he is a member of Congress, and he effectively
What are those
wields
for?
an iron fist the Congressional Black Caucus. Curious
What do I
yesterday,
have?
saying that Vice President Kamala Harris could be a great president. Well, what signal is that?
How do you feel if there is a decision for him to step down, if he decides that, and he has to decide that, or if the party pressures him to do that? How would you feel if they worked around, trying to go around Kamala Harris because of her lack of numbers and popularity broadly based? Do you think it's hers to have if it's not his?
I will support her if he were to step aside.
I will support her if he were to step aside. Talking about Kamala Harris. Well, that's pretty interesting. It's also pretty interesting that now we have the failings of Obama and Pelosi
Broken hearted.
turning on Joe Biden.
Why
Ever
is
so
it
slightly.
broken?
In a very calculated and
I think I know
way,
just the place.
Just as was predicted right here. Obama and Pelosi will be the power brokers. You must watch them. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've been watching, and these are the headlines. Obama shares concerns about shaky debate. Former President Barack Obama privately told allies who have reached out to him that President Biden's already tough path to the election grew more challenging. A harsher assessment of the presidential race than his public comments.
Revelio.
These are leaks from Barack Obama. The dam officially breaks. Now we have members of Congress, who are sitting members of Congress, not just candidates, calling for Joe Biden to withdraw. Things go very, very slowly and then all at once, right? Which is the old saying. Now, ladies and gentlemen, after a single
Down to the
Congress
water's
called for Joe Biden
edge.
to quit the race, this man's name
This
is
better not be a
Dodger.
trick.
He's from the Austin area in Texas, and he says Joe Biden must resign. Be prepared now, ladies and gentlemen. The waterfall, the gushing
Revelio.
fire hose of members of Congress who will now call for Joe Biden's resignation.
While they were announcing the TikTok ban, billions of dollars in funding has just been approved for all Americans. If you are not on Medicaid or make less than 50...
Members of Congress who will now call for Joe Biden's resignation is about to burst. Check this out. 25 House Democrats reportedly preparing to call for Biden to end re-election.
Yeah.
The dam has officially
I'll have to, like I said, have to come back to
President
that
Biden
one.
may soon face increased pressure from Democrats in Congress who drop out of the 2024
Revelio.
Democrats are preparing to call the 81-year-old president's resignation. This according to Reuters. Why is this important? Well, one, you can literally see the CPAP machine, these lines on Joe Biden's face. Just hysterical looking makeup they put on this guy. But two,
Thank you for coming all this way.
let me make something very clear.
The name's Scrope. Scrope serves the headmaster. Been in the Black family for years. Apologies for the abundance of notes. Scrope wanted to be sure you weren't followed.
What's this all about? Your notes mentioned the book I found in the restricted section.
Scrope can tell you more in exchange for your help, but no one, especially the headmaster, can know.
With Nancy Pelosi's blessing. Nancy Pelosi is allowing this to happen. This is a very important signal. You must understand how Democrat politics work.
Happy to help,
To know
especially if you can shed light on the book.
Scrope is grateful. Scrope's late mistress, Apollonia Black, may she rest in peace, was a student at Hogwarts over 50 years ago. Before she died, she spoke with passion of pages ripped from a book. Scrope suspects she took them to her private grotto. She was delirious at the end, poor thing. Mistook belladonna for elderberries. Scrope tried to warn her.
I'm sorry to hear that.
as a vessel.
But how do you benefit if I find the pages?
Scrope believes that a treasured Black family ring is also in the grotto. Scrope wishes to give it to the headmaster. Apollonia forbade Scrope from entering the grotto long ago. Scrope continues to honour her wishes. Scrope would not dare ask a student for help, but when Scrope learned you were looking for those pages, Scrope thought you might also find the ring.
Our currency, our culture, our police departments, and so on. These people hate America. So when the donors
How did you know that I'd found a book and that it's missing pages?
Scrope and the other house elves are good at staying out of sight. Scrope hears and sees many things in the castle. Scrope knows how to keep secrets.
When the donors are pissed at Democrats, that is...
Tell me more about this treasured ring.
It's adorned with the Black family crest. The headmaster would be pleased with Scrope for returning it.
Lied to us systematically over the years. Give mistakes, it's unforgivable, it's unconscionable.
How did you injure your ear?
The Blacks have a tradition of decapitating their house elves when their service is no longer required. One day, dear Apollonia was understandably frustrated with Scrope and got a bit too eager with a cleaver. Scrope was able to convince the sweet girl of his value and now views this small injury as a reminder of her good heart.
How stupid do they think we are, other donors say, as they complain that their worst fears
It seems this may help us both. I shall do it.
Scrope is relieved. Scrope hoped the young Slytherin would be willing to help. Take this toast to the grotto just down the coast and place it on the pedestal there. Good luck.
So, if Joe has to go, it's going to be Kamala, and if it's
Scrope
Kamala,
will wait
it's going to be
right here
harder
for you.
to win.
Best of luck finding your pages and the ring.
About not only Joe, but Kamala. Who do you have to blame?
Revelio.
We enabled this situation. Democrats turn on Biden's inner sanctum post-debate. Democrats are now completely in chaos, saying that their inability to rein in the psychotic and totally effed up Biden family has now gotten them in this position. And most importantly, the fact that they've been able to gaslight everyone into thinking that Joe Biden was fine. Nobody believed that. No one believed that Joe Biden was fine. They just ignored it. They turned a blind eye. Bad Dr. Joe Biden doesn't have to give a damn about America or her husband. She'll humiliate him until he can take no more because she knows what would become of her next. Yeah. Irrelevance is really such a scary thing for unhappy, overly medicated suburban white women in this country, which perfectly describes the mental illness of Jill Biden. Get a load of this. Is this normal? Is this normal? By the way, these are leaks out of the White House. These are leaks to harm Joe Biden from the White House staff. Another signal that things are collapsing. The White House resident staff, which serves the first family in the mansion living quarters, has been kept at arm's length. A former residence official told Axios that Joe Biden was so protective of the president that they wouldn't let us do anything for them. The separation between the family and the resident staff was so big, so divided, the former official said, it's not supposed to be that. It usually isn't. It wasn't in the Trump White House.
Why would I need a piece of toast?
The president is deeply appreciative.
I suppose that's where it goes.
But is unused to being waited upon regularly, so they kept them away. Yeah, right. Liars. They kept them away so that they wouldn't leak, so they wouldn't see Joe Biden's actual condition and leak on it. You ever seen a White House staff do this? The staff at the White House aren't allowed to be in the same room as Joe Biden. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I wouldn't want to be in the same room with Joe Biden when they read these posts. These are the most recent posts. Incomprehensible.
Nice.
It's in your passion, your personal
Revelio.
It's in every challenge you face and overcome. Rock is in you. It's
Could it be? A visitor?
Never settle.
An incomprehensive study of the American voters.
Hi, Jack.
The name's Richard Jackdaw. I was a student, just like you, about a century ago. How in the world did you find this place?
A house elf named Scrope sent me. Said I might find a Black family ring here.
Ah. Sorry to say, I sold the ring a long time ago. Poor Scrope. Still holds a candle for Apollonia, I reckon. Can't say I blame him. I stole all these treasures just to impress her. Alas, 'twas to no avail. I thought a secret map I'd pilfered from Peeves would pique her interest. But she simply rolled her eyes. What would I want with yellowed old pages torn from a book? Not my finest moment.
I'd like to have those pages if you don't mind.
They're not here. I thought if Apollonia wasn't interested in the map on the pages, perhaps it would lead to something that would intrigue her. So, I followed the map to what I can only describe as an enchanted cave of some kind. And you see what happened next? Here's an idea. Why don't you meet me at the edge of the Forbidden Forest, and I'll show you where to find the pages.
How is it possible to steal from Peeves? A poltergeist?
I didn't steal the pages from his ghostly form. I merely found them in his wake of destruction. He has a penchant for wrecking things. Books, bottles, suits of armor, whatever's sure to cause the most chaos. He dropped them after a particularly aggressive romp through the library.
Why did I need the toast to get in here?
Oh, that was Apollonia's idea. Seems some squids love toast. They should have taught you that at Hogwarts.
I think I could guess how you died, but who did it to you?
I was having a look around when I suddenly sensed a refreshing breeze. After that, I felt, well, lightheaded. That's all I remember. Hence, if you do visit the cave, be prepared. I can't tell you what for specifically, but you seem a perceptive sort. Beware a light breeze.
I suppose if that's the only way for me to get those pages, I'll meet you at the forest.
I'm sure the pages are still tucked in my waistcoat. If you don't mind the sight of a, well, my decapitated skeleton, they're yours for the taking.
Revelio. A map. It doesn't appear to be connected to the missing pages. Best hang on to it for now.
Anything else here? Alright. That's this group. Where's group? Oh, that's right, he's out there.
Hello, Scrope. Thanks to you, I was able to enter Apollonia's grotto. The toast was the key. I met a ghost there, Richard Jackdaw, who's agreed to lead me to the pages I've been looking for.
That boy was never good enough for Apollonia. Oh, what of the Black family ring?
I'm sorry to say that Jackdaw sold it long ago.
Sad news indeed. Scrope shall need to think of another way to impress the headmaster. Well, Scrope takes some consolation in knowing that the young Slytherin found what they needed.
I did. Thank you again, Scrope. You're a credit to House Elves.
There we go. What's next? No, I don't want to do that. That one just yet. Go. Summoner's Court. Now I got as many side quests as I can.
What are you doing out here?
Challenging you to a game of Summoner's Court. I think it's time you faced a real opponent, outside of Ronan's little lesson in charms class. Summoner's Court isn't just a game. It's a battle of skill. A test of a witch or wizard's mettle. What say?
It's Ghost, Gryffindor.
I'm in. Let's do it.
Brilliant! Summoner's Court. The ever-changing game. Accio. All in the wrist.
Oh yeah.
Accio.
That was one for the ages. Accio. Nothing to it.
Nice.
Lucky shot. Accio. Try to beat that.
Nice. I already won.
Accio.
Well done. You beat me. Bit of good luck, that's all.
Come now, Leander. There's no need for that.
Fine, you're good. Better than I am, at least. I'll let the others know you're good enough to keep playing.
The others?
I lost 7 matches in a row to Samantha Dale. The others who play Summoner's Court thought that if you couldn't beat me, you wouldn't be enough of a challenge.
Chin up, Leander. Keep practicing and you'll get better.
I suppose you're right. I'll let the others know that your metal's been tested, and that you passed.
I don't like those glasses on. Those might work. Okay, I can do this one. Forest.
Lumos. Revelio. Expelliarmus. Lumos.
What does
Revelio.
Crossed ones champion, eh?
Lumos.
Alright, then on this side. My fourth playthrough, and you'd think it'd be easier to remember.
Revelio. Expelliarmus. Lumos. Revelio. Expelliarmus. Accio. Lumos. Revelio. Expelliarmus. Lumos. Revelio. Lumos.
Alrighty. Goes to our left. That's what I'm doing. Just need to find those candles.
Revelio. Expelliarmus. Lumos. Revelio. Lumos.
Those candles. I thought they were.
Revelio. Lumos. Revelio.
Okay. Let's use a map. Lumos. That's what I did. Let's go back to that bridge and use Lumos again.
Lumos.
Handy resource indeed, your field guide.
Revelio. Lumos. Revelio. Lumos.
Maybe it should be dark. I don't know. Let's try that. Yep,
Enchanted candles. Wonder where they're heading.
Alright, let's go.
The candles seem to be leading into the Forbidden Forest.
Oh, you're a genius.
The treasure must be nearby. I suppose a picnic in the Forbidden Forest could seem romantic to some. Revelio. Treasure hunting suits me.
End it here and do the stream just Jack Jaw's Rest because that should give me my last 2 trophies. Two-hour stream, not bad. Alrighty. I'm out of here.